On behalf of the Hochstein School, welcome to our performance hall. Serving our community for more than 100 years, Hochstein celebrates all who enter here as supporters of the arts. We ask that you take notice of the emergency exits located at all corners of the hall on both levels. Restrooms are to the back of the hall, downstairs. Additional accessible bathrooms are located on the main level in the school building. Please take a moment to silence your electronic devices. For the courtesy of everyone in attendance and on stage, we ask that you remain seated and only enter and exit during applause or a break in the program. Thank you, and enjoy the performance.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the ceremony for the admission of candidates to the New York State Bar in the Appellate Division, 4th Department. My name is Ann Dillon Flynn, and I'm the clerk of the court. I'm honored to be here this afternoon to celebrate this wonderful occasion with you, the candidates for admission, and all of your loved ones. As we begin, I'd like to remind you to silence your electronic devices if you haven't already done so, as this is a formal session of court. In addition to resolving issues on appeal, the Appellate Division is vested with the authority to admit to the practice of law those candidates who have been certified by the 4th Department's Committees on Character and Fitness, provided that the court is also satisfied that such persons possess the requisite moral character and fitness to engage in the practice of law. It is one of the joyous duties of my office to administer the oath of office to the candidates for admission, including all of those candidates here with us this afternoon. At this time, I will turn the proceedings over to Court Attendant Racine Walton, who will call this formal session of court to order, after which you will hear from Presiding Justice Gerald J. Whalen. Thank you.
The Justice of the Appellate Division, 4th Department, the Honorable Gerald J. Whalen, presiding.
Please be seated. Welcome to the June 2025 Bar Admission Ceremony for the 4th Judicial Department. At this time, Emma Rose, who is being admitted today, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Come on, welcome. Where's our flag? Back there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Emma. Now it's my great honor to introduce to you the justices of the Appellate Division, 4th Department. Starting to my far left, your right, we have the Honorable Justice Lynn W. Kane from Buffalo, Justice Henry Nowak from Buffalo, Justice E. Jeanette Ogden from Buffalo, Justice Mark Montour from Buffalo, Justice John M. Curran from Buffalo, and our keynote speaker today, the Honorable Richard C. Wesley. Continuing, we have Justice Craig D. Hanna from Buffalo, Justice Scott J. Del Conte from Oswego, Justice Donald A. Greenwood, from Syracuse, Justice Nancy E. Smith from Rochester, Justice Tracy A. Bannister from Buffalo, and Justice Stephen K. Lindley from Rochester. I would also like to take a moment and introduce who's sitting in the audience, the Honorable Glenn T. Sotheby. Judge Sotheby, where are you at? Very good. Judge Sotheby's here with his wife Jill. Judge Sotheby is a district court judge from the Northern District of New York, and he's here today with a big smile on his face, as does his wife, because his stepdaughter, her daughter, Claire Denny, is being admitted today. Congratulations and welcome. So this is the day that the candidates for admission have been waiting for. 4 years of college, some 5, 3 years of law school, all the studying, the test taking, passing the bar exam, the character and fitness examinations. I and the members of the court congratulate you all on your hard work and determination. You have much to be proud of in having persevered to reach this milestone and occupying those seats. Now, I'm sure that you have had help along the way, both financially and emotionally, from maybe parents, spouses, family, friends, some of whom may have joined you here today. Without their help, your goal to be admitted to the bar of the state of New York would have been much more difficult to achieve. And although today we're here to congratulate you, I would like to give you an opportunity to now stand up, turn around or to the side, and give them a round of applause to thank them for all they've done for you. Thank you. Now, as you prepared for this milestone in your lives, I'm certain that you have also been keenly aware that, as always, history is being made throughout the various courts, both state and federally, all involving lawyers and law firms engaging in litigation that will impact our nation both socially and politically. Extraordinary times present a unique opportunity for the legal community, those that have a license to practice law. They have an opportunity to play a pivotal role in how our society functions. Keep this in mind as you embark upon your careers in the law, which I'm certain will present you with a multitude of rewarding opportunities. I suggest that you embrace the opportunity that exists today to make a meaningful difference in our society and the lives of those most in need. There are many local organizations through which you can offer your legal expertise to assist persons in need of pro bono representation, and in a wide variety of practice areas. I encourage you to sign up and help where help is needed. And I promise you, you will find that it is time well spent and incredibly rewarding. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker, the Honorable Richard C. Wesley, Judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. Judge Wesley earned his Bachelor of Arts degree, summa cum laude, from the State University of New York at Albany in 1971. He then attended Cornell Law School, where he was selected to the Cornell Law Review and received his Juris Doctorate degree in 1974. Judge Wesley engaged in the private practice of law from the time of his admission to the New York State Bar in 1975 until 1986. He started initially as an associate with the prestigious law firm then known as Harris, Beach, and Wilcox. He then joined the Livingston County-based firm Welch, Streb, and Porter in 1976. He became a partner of the firm in 1977, which was renamed Streb, Porter, Meyer, and Wesley. A 2-year partnership track, which you will very soon discover is extraordinary. From 1979 until 1982, Judge Wesley also served as assistant counsel and chief legislative aide to New York Assembly Minority Leader James Emery, and in 1982 was himself elected to the New York State Assembly, representing Livingston, Allegheny, and Ontario counties in the 136th Assembly District. He was re-elected to that position in 1984. During his tenure, Judge Wesley sponsored a number of important pieces of legislation, including measures that established procedures for the taking of blood samples from intoxicated drivers responsible for the death or serious injury of another party, removed a difficult evidentiary requirement that often prohibited the conviction of child molesters, and he revised and streamlined settlement procedures on behalf of infants in certain cases. Judge Wesley began his judicial career with his election in 1986 to the New York State Supreme Court in the 7th Judicial District, and served as a Supreme Court justice from 1987 to 1994. During his early judicial career, Judge Wesley reduced the backlog of cases that had developed in Monroe County Court by setting up a trial assistance part. He also served as the administrator of the Judicial Hearing Officers Program in the 7th JD, and served as the supervising judge of the criminal courts in the 7th Judicial District, supervising the operation of over 280 criminal courts in an 8-county area. In 1993, Judge Wesley instituted a felony screening program in Monroe County that reduced delays in processing certain felony cases by over 60%. The program proved so successful that it served as a model for other case processing programs throughout the entire state of New York. Judge Wesley also worked with a number of criminal justice agencies in Monroe County in developing the JUST program, a comprehensive program that provides a number of services to the courts and criminal justice agencies in Monroe County to monitor pre-plea and pre-sentence defendants and to provide program alternatives to jail without compromising public safety. Then in 1994, Governor Mario Cuomo appointed Judge Wesley to serve as an Associate Justice of our court, the Appellate Division, 4th Department, where Judge Wesley served with distinction until his appointment to, again, the next higher court, the Court of Appeals, our state's highest court. That appointment was in 1997. During his tenure at the Court of Appeals, Judge Wesley authored a number of significant opinions involving speedy trial consideration for juveniles, third-party liability for gun manufacturers, and the state's first review of a death penalty verdict. Judge Wesley served as an associate judge of the New York State Court of Appeals until 2003, when he was nominated to the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit by President George W. Bush, which commenced his long and distinguished career on the federal bench. Now, beyond his exceptional judicial career, Judge Wesley has also been actively involved in a number of professional community and charitable organizations, including the 7th Judicial District Attorney Grievance Committee, the Livingston County Bar Association, the Supreme Court Justices Association of the 7th JD, where he served as president. He has also been a member of the Board of Trustees of United Church of Livonia, Chances and Changes, a community-based organization in Livingston County that provides safe housing to battered women, the Charles Settlement House, the Center for Dispute Resolution, the Pretrial Services Corporation, and the Cornell University Council. He currently serves on the boards of the Myers Memorial Foundation, the Cornell Law School Advisory Council, the Advisory Council for the Rockefeller College of Public Affairs and Policy at the State University at Albany, and the New York State Bar Association, or Bar Foundation, I should say. Additionally, Judge Wesley currently serves on the Standing Committee on Rules pursuant to an appointment by Chief Justice Roberts, which is the committee is tasked with reviewing and suggesting changes to the procedural and evidentiary rules that govern legal proceedings in the federal courts throughout our country. Among his many professional honors and awards, Judge Wesley has been the recipient of the SUNY Alumni Association's Distinguished Alumni Award, the Robert L. Haig Award for Distinguished Public Service from the New York State Bar Association's Commercial and Federal Litigation Section. He was also named a Distinguished Alumni at SUNY at Albany and he served as the distinguished jurist in residence at Cornell Law School. And with all of that he's done and all he continues to do, he's found time to come and speak to you. And we are very pleased that he's done that. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, the Honorable Richard C. Wesley.
I have to say, it makes me a little nervous having Judge Sotheby here in the audience. I'm going to hear about that introduction at the next Judges Conference. Presiding Justice Whalen, members of my former court that I love so much, soon to be newly minted lawyers, a lot of excitement in the room, very proud mothers and fathers, I suspect, significant others, husbands, wives. What a joyful day. It's a joy to be with you. You know, when Presiding Justice Whalen called to ask if I'd deliver a talk to newly admitted attorneys of the Fourth Department, it reminded me of two prior occasions when I was asked to deliver this talk, this very talk. The first was in 1997. Forgive me, I have a summer cold. It seems that you'll see there's a correlation between my illnesses and this speech. I had just left my Fourth Department family and had begun my work at Eagle Street in Albany on the New York Court of Appeals. Justice M. Dolores Denman, for whom the Fourth Department building is rightly named, called and asked in her firm but friendly voice if I'd deliver the talk. And I was frankly honored that she had asked me. If only I had planned on the flu season of 1996-97. Days before the talk, I became horribly ill. My temperature was about 104, and I had to cancel my appearance. Dolores ultimately forgave me after she received and read the doctor's report. Dolores was thorough, very, very thorough. The beneficiary of my illness was then a newly admitted lawyer from Syracuse, Lisa Sarando. Her father, John Sarando, a very well-known criminal appeals attorney who I had known from many appearances at the Fourth Department and his appearances at the New York Court of Appeals, and a former head of the appeals unit of the Onondaga District Attorney's Office, pinch hit for me, and his daughter was quite happy and somewhat surprised when he was the speaker. 5 years later, I was back, fully vaccinated against the predominant flu strain, and ready again at Dolores's instruction, I might add, and ready to deliver the talk. On a positive note, both audience and speaker survived that occasion. And so, once again, I'm back. And overall, I'm feeling pretty good. And I'm ready to spend a few minutes with you talking about what lies ahead for all of you, and taking a minute or two to reflect on my own journey on a life in the law. You know, my certificate of admission to the bar hangs in my chambers in Geneseo. It notes that I was admitted in March of 1975. 1975. It scares me a little bit when I read that number. My Lord, you know, that was 50 years ago. The Godfather Part 2 won the Oscar for Best Movie of the Year that year. Now, how many of you young whippersnappers have seen The Godfather Part 2? Okay, all right. See, we're starting to relate to each other already. Here we go. All right. Of course, that spring was also the year that we finally escaped from Vietnam. In the ensuing 50 years, we have had 8 presidents, experienced the national trauma of September 11th, undergone significant social, cultural, economic, and political changes. We've experienced radical changes in how we manage our daily lives through technology that has also connected us, for better or for worse, through a device someone chose to call a smartphone. My license has been with me through 7 different legal and political endeavors. It has been one of the few constants in my work life. What is it? What is it about this license of mine and soon to be yours that you acquire today? How does it alter or affect the decisions you will make in the years to come? Let's spend a minute or two to consider that. How does your license to practice law affect some of the decisions in your life? How was it you decided to become a lawyer? Is someone in your family a lawyer? Did you work in a law office before you went to law school? Many of my law clerks were paralegals before they went to law school, including my own daughter. She was a paralegal before she went to law school. Or did being a lawyer just seem like the thing that most appealed to you? I'm quite sure that if we were to ask that question, we get many different answers today. The same might be true if we asked, how did you decide where you wanted to work after becoming a lawyer? Whatever the reason, studies show that a substantial number of law school graduates leave their job within the first 3 years of employment, upwards of 70%. I often get calls from former clerks telling me that they're considering changing jobs from the job they took immediately after leaving me. The tone of their voice often reflects concern that I will somehow disapprove of the decision to change. Not so. I think it's hard to know what a particular job entails until you do it. Did you know you liked something before you tried it? Of course not. But here's the good news. Your license to practice law opens up a huge array of choices for careers in the law. And so it makes sense that during your legal career, there may be occasions where things don't work out. You don't enjoy the area of law you're working in, or the dynamics of the workplace for some reason leave you feeling a need to leave. Whatever the reason, other opportunities abound, and one need only look for something that seems like a better fit. Don't think of a decision to change your job as a failure. Think of it as a learning experience. Choose opportunities, areas of practice, size of firm, corporate litigation, etc., based upon your interest. Over this now very long legal career of mine, I've discovered that I did my very best work when I was interested and engaged in my work. When I was practicing law in Geneseo, New York, I used to go into the office on Saturday morning, and with my partner, Randy Meyer, we used to scheme up things with regard to some of the cases we were working on. The hours flew by, and I was always late for Saturday lunch and caught hell from my then wife because of the fact that we had worked too long. It didn't seem like work at all. Being a judge has never, ever seemed like work. And it frightens me a bit because I'm soon approaching 40 years on the bench. Being on the bench has never, ever seemed like work at all to me. It seemed like an adventure to me of a series of problems to be solved. When Judge Smith and I were working together, she was on county court and I was on New York Supreme, Monroe Supreme, and we had that backlog of cases. We designed the felony screening part. It still operates today to try and reduce the backlog of those cases. The collaboration, the attempt to try and solve a problem that was confronting us was exhilarating. And it propelled both of us onto wonderful other things in our legal careers. And that's the point. With good work comes opportunity, whether it's a client referral or becoming proficient in an emerging area of the law. Good work has a way of leading on to other good things. So commit yourselves today to using your license to practice law as a passport on a journey of the pursuit of your heart. You know, the only real danger you face in that journey is, quite frankly, yourself. One of the important duties of the Appellate Division in New York is ensuring that our sisters and brothers in the law conduct themselves in accordance with the canons of professionalism or professional ethics. I now perform a similar function at the Second Circuit. The vast majority of disciplinary cases that came before us when I was on the 4th Department and come before me now at the Circuit Court involve professional failures that had a root cause in addiction to alcohol or drugs. The stories were almost always painfully tragic, promising careers damaged or ended by addiction. Fortunately, there are programs available for help. Don't be afraid to ask if you feel things are slipping away from you. Do not allow your license to go and leave you because of an addiction. Remember, the only person that can take your license from you is yourself. So let me leave you with a few parting thoughts. I've had the distinct honor of working with hundreds of dedicated folks in the state and federal courts of New York and the Second Circuit as both practitioner and judge. In each endeavor, all strive to get it right, to follow the law without fear or favor. My journey now, some 50 years on, has enriched my life in ways that I never imagined on that day in March when I sat in the audience like you sit here today at the swearing-in ceremony in 1975. My fervent hope for you today is that your journey is rewarding in every possible way. Your license empowers you to take up the cause for justice for those who have no champion. It ensures that those charged with crimes receive the process they are due. It helps ensure decisions on the merits. It provides counsel to corporate and personal problems. It does the work of a society committed to the rule of law. And now I'm going to ask something of you. When you go home tonight, take a few minutes to think about where you think your professional life will take you. Ask yourself this question. If everything were to go the way I'd like, what will I be doing 5 years from now? If everything were to go the way I want, what will I be doing 5 years from now? I asked my clerks this very thing on the last day they clerked for me. If you pursue your passions, then I want you to write it down on a piece of paper and put it in an envelope and to seal it. And I want you to hang on to it and open it on June 9th, 2030. If you pursue your passions and follow your dreams and do it with the vigor and enthusiasm that comes with doing something you love, I'm betting a good number of you will be doing something you never, ever imagined in your life you would be, and the world will be a better place for it. I wish all of you here today, a rich and rewarding journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge Wesley, for those wonderful words, encouraging words. But now the time has come for the candidates for admission to be sworn in as attorneys and counselors at law. Ann Dillon Flynn, the clerk of the court, will administer the oath. Ms. Dillon Flynn, have these candidates been certified to the court for admission by the appropriate committee on character and fitness as possessing the character and fitness required by attorneys and counselors at law? Please administer the oath of office.
Will the candidates for admission please stand? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of an attorney and counselor at law according to the best of my ability. Congratulations, counselors.
Just be seated briefly. Congratulations. A career in the law is very often driven by the desire to be in a position to help people. People who are very often at desperate points of time in their lives. People who feel like there's nowhere else to turn. You, as attorneys and counselors at law, will be the person they very often turn to. It's an extraordinary gift to be able to help people in such a way, to play such an important role in the lives of clients. I wish you all great success, and I'm confident that the years ahead will be filled with great accomplishment and satisfaction. Congratulations, and with that, we are adjourned.